Got ourselves hot first up versus Kenner. Immediate Hodge just going for the IBF with the dome down, trying to see if he can dull out a little bit of this holy damage that he's taken. Quick stun into hot, got himself a full army of the dead, not really building up for an apocalypse, I guess, until later. Maybe wants to wait out until the Shield of Vengeance is down. Does have the pets take down that shield. There goes the big grippy hand, maybe big combo. Hot taking huge hits, does go for a big bubble with the sect as well, is able to survive it. Trying to stay very aggressive versus Kenner. Does Kenner just try to see if he can maybe switch things out? Got himself lots of runic power built up. Go for that legendary for Death Coil self-healing. Hot with a trinket and a blind AMS up for Kenner. Silence on a hot. I don't really know how as a paladin you can escape this one. Does stun up all the pets, but the death is just so unreal. The amount of damage he does with the Cloak Shadows gets you so low with the pets. Able to finish you out very, very quickly. Luck gonna be up next. This man has been just an absolute menace. Such a reckless rogue, but I kind of love it. Does get caught out in a random death and decay, but able to still stun Luck. Kenner got himself a death back, but that means a good portion of your health is just necrotic without healing it. You're gonna have to work through necrotics and then start actually collecting health. That does increase your overall health pool. Evasion up for Luck. The best you can do as a DK is just kite him out with a chain. Does sacrifice his ghoul while he is transformed, which is unfortunate, kind of a bit of a damage loss. But at least you do have Luck dotted, and at least you have him out in the open, able to hit him with a couple of death coils here and there. If you can just slow him down, that helps, unless the rogue just presses a vanish, or it hits a Cloak of Shadows, just to remove all the slows. Kenner just buying himself just a little bit of time. I think he needs to play around the stuns, because Technical Luck does not have a trinket anymore. Secret Technique does absorb a portion of the damage into the AMS, but still all the physical damage goes right through him. Kenner needs himself a go right now. Luck does not have a trinket, so if you can get yourself a setup. Stun, this is an opportunity. Trying to get himself a big go. Actually, no, he can. The stun, I guess, maybe is the yard from the ghoul earlier. Does go for the Shadow Step into a Cloak of Shadows. I don't think there's anything you can do. That was a little rough. I think he might have used the pet stun to try to see if he could peel Luck earlier, but that does mean that the next Strangulate is going to be DR'd. Otherwise, that was like your only big go. Just try to see if you could summon up a bunch of ghouls, big burst, slow him down, and then kite the guy out as best as you can. Hockey's getting it open up on by Luck. Trinket blind immediately. Blind back for Luck. Hold on, he's taking it back. Hold on, he's bringing it back a little by little. He's looking for a reset. He doesn't want to fight the Assassination rogue if he can help it, unless he got himself the proper opener. But now that both rogues are blinded and both have trinketed, it's really down to a chess match. Hockey's feeling pretty confident. He wants to get this guy out in the open. He doesn't have a trinket, but he's playing orcs. So he's not going to be sitting stuns nearly as long. Shadow Strike into a gouge to summon to Hockey's. Does go in for... Was that Death Mark onto Luck? I don't think he Death Marked him, did he? Vanished by Luck, does have himself another reset. Maybe he can get himself a proper kidney shot. Stepping on each other, that's going to be kidney. Luck trying to see if he can get himself a go. Does not have a sepsis for this combo. Cloak of Shadows for Hawkins just to give himself a little bit extra defense. He needs to get all the dots onto Luck. Does Luck have a cloak? He does not. Hawkins taking huge hits though, back to back. That's going for the vanish into a Garrod. Trying to see if he can just stay in. Cheat death right after. No health, and Luck just keeps chopping him up with those eviscerates. Taking the boy out with shield pills, trying not to give this rogue any chance whatsoever to get back into this duel. Into a sepsis, shield pills might actually have to play defensive hero to AMS, should hopefully deal with a sepsis at least a little, but those eviscerates are just absolutely puncturing right through you. Sepsis still doing a lot of damage. Does drop down a dome just to deal with the nature and the shadow damage of this rogue. His Luck just keeps pressing on. Does get stunned up. Does someone to chills. Still got a couple of blitz, and looks like he's going to be able to take him out fairly quickly. Human Rachel also was used up though, so chills did have to commit a lot versus rogue though. Parasite getting silenced, got himself the IBM full demon form available, stun on the shields with an IBF out of the death that tried to survive it. Slow onto Parasite with chains is huge though. Is gonna sacrifice his goal, trying to go for Wraithwalk just to get himself a little bit of mobility. Has himself a death back technically, but Parasite, I mean, he's putting on some pressure. Chills might decide to go for a death back pretty early on though. Unless Parasite, I don't know what he's waiting for. I guess maybe he was waiting until like the very, very dire moment. Trying to see if he can stun on Parasite. Got himself full immunity. Is going to go for the sigil. Mad damage to the shields. Now he can't really heal. Question is, does he have AMS though? Does get AMS last second. Got himself Snowball. Maybe can build up some kind of damage. Still trick available for Parasite. Jupil's played it super, super defensively if at all possible. Going for death strikes when he can, but not really committing any. Big blade dance for Parasite. It's just over. Once he got into big bleed damage with the blade dance, it's just done. Top G trying to see if he can give this man as much of an auto duel, at least as much of like, hey, you're gonna be fighting me today. Trinket out of Parasite, trying to see if he can go for Imprison on the Top G, breaks out of it, looking for getting stunned, but I think the Shockwave does not connect unless there was a Dragon's Roar, which then Was it a Dragon Sword? Are you bleeding? Look at this health bar. It is. I think you are bleeding. I think it might have been a Dragon Sword, not a Shockwave. Does drop down a haymaker on the guy, punching him into a wall to knock him down for just a second. Parasite picking up the I-beam, stun on Top G, maybe a big go. Mad Cleave, Top G does have some big defenses, might have to use him here. Parasite picking up all this health very, very quickly with a hit and run. He has to either be stunning Top G, locking him down with a Blade Dance, or bailing out of there immediately. Top G would rather fight him just in sustained fashion, keeping Parasite out in the open. Para does go for a sigil. It is going to give him a bunch of souls, but Top G is not going anywhere at all. Try to go for a stun on Parasite, either fully DR, that or he dodged it. Big Blade Dance, stun lock, maybe big setup. Top G does have an answer here, trying to keep Parasite slowed as best as possible. The more bloodthirst he can sink into Parasite, the better situation is going to be in. Try to see if he can break out of the imprison. I think, not Zerkers, right? I think it just broken its own with just damage. Parasite trying to see if he can buy himself some time for cooldowns. He needs that hit and run. Otherwise, it's going to be rough. Trying to go for I-beam. Does get stunned up. Top G got himself some damage with the Avatar. Big cleave by Parasite, though. Blade Dance doing a ton of damage. Does he have anything more right now? Because he's got himself Blur, playing more defensively, dropping out sigils, passive damage versus Top G. I think might just have him, and does end up picking up just enough damage in order to get him with a root immediately by Chicago. Trying to see if he can turn it around versus Parasite. Sigil of Fear does trick it out of it. Baron with a stun. Does he have enough damage? Having to go for a bit of a reset. Got himself a Metamorphosis. Maybe they'll give him a lot of souls. Does use the sigil onto all these pets just to stun him up and collect ability resources. Stun or out of the prison onto Chicago, trying to see if he can avoid the shaman. He's either in, stun locking him, blasting him down, cleaving him down with dances, that or he's behind the pillar looking for a bit of recovery. But now that he's got himself at least a little bit of damage, he's feeling pretty confident. Chicago dropping down underground, trying to see if he can maybe Burrow will help him hide, but you can't hide from this damage, Parasite. Bringing it back over for C1. My goodness. I feel like there's no amount of, unless they nerf the whole burst combo or they nerf Blade Dance directly in PvP. Because they keep nerfing Demon Hunters every single week for PvE and PvP. I feel like there's nothing that can stop them. Actually, just an unreal class is so good. You get a +1? Okay. We can get you guys hopefully a +1 over in LG. As long as, if you guys want to find the groups, they'll be listed in Raid's Legacy. They have to nerf the Demon Hunter damage on several fronts. They would have to if they wanted to like be less effective. Yeah. So far they've been nerfing like sustained damage stuff, but I feel like they would have to go after like Blade Dance and all those Blade Dance synergies. That or like sustain, like some of the, because you got so many factors of sustained damage. You got the glaives, you got your immolation, you got your sigil of flames, which actually does quite a decent amount. I think they would have to go after like Blade Dance and like maybe Metamorphosis damage or just raw damage buffs or nerfs rather.